My brain is toast right now.
Toast.
I like toast.
I do
Toast
this
is good. Hey everyone, this is
I'm
Mark
really mad that
Myers, and just
Prompto's
update with this.
LD buff isn't an overhead. It's really hard to see.
Are you
Don't worry.
using Prompto on this?
Yeah. Let's see.
Prompto, it does fine with his LD only, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't need his EX. Remember,
Wow.
EXs are outdated
Yeah.
until C90. So.
Awesome. Good. Perfect. That's what
True that. Just ignore the stat ups.
That's what I wanted to know.
My fucking friend free pulled Ace BT too.
Oh, nice.
I did too, and I was pretty upset.
He has everything. He has every fucking BT. I'm so mad.
Well, that's new player accounts though too, right?
He's the one. I don't know if I said this. He's the one I got good players just pull the weapon from. He says that every time. It's so annoying.
Nice. Nice.
I started saying.
So, like, give me a crash course here. When do you Prompto LD? Just to refresh
when the buff is about to fall off.
That's it? All right.
Yeah.
And then this HP and Brave.
Oh, I think it gets you to 4 stacks immediately as well.
Are those worth hitting?
The 4 stacks.
The Brave Plus and HP Plus, the overkill.
Not. I don't think particularly, unless you need defense ignore from the HP plus. You probably don't, or maybe you do. I don't know. If you need, and then because the Brave plus is less valuable now because he does the attack down on his follow up.
Oh, right.
But it does battery the party, so.
Inkwelder, if you're listening to this, I swear to God, despite what chat was saying, I wasn't calling out Inkwelder in particular. It's just the 1 or 2 tries, right? Like, what they're like, 2 is too specific a number. What the fuck else am I supposed to say then? Like 5 tries? Like, I don't
3.
know, man. 3? No, 3rd time's the charm. You can't say 3.
True that. You see Realms LD?
Oh shit, the video's out?
Realm and Kate, yeah.
Let me go.
Damn, I didn't even do T9 yet. It's crazy.
Wait, you didn't do T9 yet?
No.
I want to see the teams. I'm curious what I would do if I was playing JP right now, because just looking at the orb, I was like, you have to be pretty creative to get around this. People are saying
Kadaj, or
I don't understand. Like, how does the gold orb check this?
I don't know. I think it's +2 if they take a turn and they have a gold orb on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason the only thing was prevent them from buffing or something.
Let me check so the prevent them from buffing part is because it goes down. The orb goes down when they buff themselves. So if it's at 15 and they get to a threshold and buff themselves 5 times, that's -15 on the orb and you die.
And they cleanse before they do that, right? So you can't just overload them with framed buffs, right?
Correct.
Framed debuffs.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Middle. Cannot cancel. Increase by 4 when player inflicts 4 debuffs in 1 turn. Increase by 2 at the end of target turn while afflicted with 1 gold frame debuff. And go down by 3 if the target successfully grants itself 1 buff. So I think Vincent is the only one with aura buff prevention.
Yes, he's the only one. I think I was thinking through the roster. Nobody
Yuffie
else.
and Aerith have it, but on a buff that gets cleansed.
Right.
I don't think there's any other way to stop them from buffing. So,
dude, oh my god, I like Realm's LD concept so much because it rewards her for getting sketch turns. It rewards her for warps. That's so cool.
Where's Belial at?
Because Mark, so her LD makes it so that on her warp turns she gets a special HP plus.
Oh,
that's amazing. Only on her free turns. So
nice.
That's so cool that they leaned into that. I want Eldnars to do something like that.
Belial at? Has he been logging in at least?
Give Eldnarsh a follow up on whenever he hits a terrored target.
Watch Eldnarsh come alongside
Cam?
Cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Oh man. Oh, I love Cam's hit so
Okay.
much. I really
Belial's
want
at
to
least
see.
still logging in. Good. He
Uh,
just hasn't done Transcendence yet.
T9 is annoying. I've wiped twice now due to orb at 19%.
Two's the magic number.
Takes like 30 minutes just to get there. 120 million HP is absurd. Uh, I'm gonna say I think people are gonna be unhappy to hear this, but the same thing Macnell said about T4, right? Like it's definitely tuned really hard on release and will
Yep.
probably get significantly easier the next 2 weeks as more characters come out.
Well,
Especially because next tier in JP's got to be next month.
right,
So.
and yeah, 2 months, and talking about a potential increase in difficulty. So, yeah, don't.
But I read the fight description. It's a lot of mechanics. I was like, whoa, this reminds me of an MMO, like a FF14 raid, because there are like 7 thresholds every 10%.
Oh
I
wow.
was like, it's so funny because I think I read a quick description, and its whole gimmick is that thresholds it'll cleanse and then put up a huge shield, a really big fat shield, HP damage shield, right? PC or
I
something
don't know.
like.
I haven't done the fight yet.
Yeah. Well, basically it'll cleanse and throw up a big shield. So at like 79%, it'll do both. And then at like 69%, it'll just do the cleanse, and then at 59, it'll just do the shield, and then it'll do both again on the next. It just like alternates like that. And I was like, that's pretty fucking funny.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I could see that causing people
1
problems.
million brave damage shields 7 times. I wonder if 1 million's actually even hard to hit in GP right now.
Not. That's just numbers without context again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we're already approaching that. So
Vincent presses one button, it does 1 million
Yeah.
damage.
yeah, exactly.
So that doesn't phase me.
Oh, you got the BT?
I did, which is why I'm not gonna. I was prepared to get creative, but now I don't have to.
Oh, snap.
Ah.
See, like I couldn't bring myself to do that because that's a repeat banner in GL. He comes with Porum,
Well,
right?
I free pulled it, so it's a double win.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah,
Just get your W.
I'll get creative in GL like I always do. I
get
use
your-
energy in JP and I get creative in GL.
Nobody is judging you. Nobody cares.
Oh, and if they were, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that one asshole on my Transcendence, or was it my Reigns video that said other JP players have used this team, and I was like, and and he didn't reply, but I pinned his dumbass.
Yes. And what is your point about that?
Like astute observation, asshole. Now what?
Somebody
You know-
did something different than you. Oh, really? Thank you. I didn't know that was possible.
I was gonna say if we had more time in the show, I wanted to dive. It's a very meaty topic about like why some players are stuck at lower skill levels, and part of the math thing, what I wanted to expand on is basically like it's a puzzle. Chat saying the whole thing is a puzzle. You're supposed to solve the puzzle. You conform to the puzzle. The puzzle doesn't conform to you. Right? Like,
Oh.
it's such a weird fucking attitude to have, in my opinion. Because how many people honestly go through life not changing anything and expecting everything to work out for them?
Well, quite a few people actually.
Yeah, I was actually.
You know what? I'll take the L on that one. But it's like that.
Have you
screenshot.
ever met a Karen? I think that's the definition of a Karen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but remember, it's like that screenshot I linked this morning where they were talking about Alphino.
Yeah.
And Yoshi P's like, I was like, this is hilarious because Yoshi P's like, Alphino talks so much, he'd be like that kid that posts on Reddit about his ideals, but when he faces reality and his failures, he learns how to become more humble and to accept those people reaching out to help him. like Eamon. I feel that he's a protagonist, blah 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 blah. But basically, it's like, yeah, like when you're young and naive, you constantly talk about how you think the world should be. Like, why is the government so fucked up? They should do this and this and this. Or, that football coach should have made this play, or the military should have did this. Like, it's really easy, I guess, when you're young to be like a fucking armchair.
But the problem is now, and that I think that little article, that little blurb is perfect because, yes, Alpha now learned from his mistakes and became humble and improved, or at least according to the article. A lot of people do not. A lot of people bear down, dig their heels in, and never get humble, never learn those lessons, and pretty much just parrot whatever they hear. And I mean, that's just it's a serious issue right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about because just today, this guy named Raw Life was saying, the things I like are good, and everything I hate is bad. I'm better than everyone else, and the things I like are better than the things they like.
That sounds like something a villain would say.
Yeah, it just sounds like.
And then what was that quote? He quoted somebody on.
It was Nidra. That was the joke.
Mussolini.
I'm aware. Nidra, yeah, there's another quote.
I'm aware. Nidra is the true villain.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it. It was really.
Nidra acts like he doesn't mean those things, but he does.
Yeah, he means all those things.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible monster.
Terrible person.
Yeah.
Nidra does that thing where that it was like you guys kind of saw it fail in action yesterday, where we try to be ironic to hide our true feelings, but wait, where is this fucking quote? Why can't I find it? Fuck, it was so good. Something about like, because I know how to do a thing, everyone else that doesn't know how to do it is stupid, regardless whether or not I knew how to do it originally, or something like that, which is a great quote.
Yeah, everyone who's better than me is a try hard, and everyone who's worse than me is garbage, right? So, yeah, exactly.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, that's how it goes. No,
I accuse Mark of that. I really accuse Mark of that. Mark is like, can you believe? I'm pretty sure he meant this unironically. Can you believe people think like Rains Mao and Ace are hard to use or something?
Exactly.
And it's like, fuck, come on, Mark. Like, don't be so elitist.
I do not actually think this game is very hard at all. I always scratch my brain when I come across people who are not good at this game. Because I'm not good at this game, and yet I very rarely have to repeat anything. So I don't always play the best. But yeah, I know what to pull. So that helps a lot. It's 90%. It's 90% of it right there.
I was gonna say that again. I was like, I stand by it. The 90% is the roster. So like, Eamon was saying I did Reigns Lufania without having to pull Reigns, but he had a green Zidane, a fully built Reigns friend, and I forgot his third. But that's the entire synergy right there.
Right.
Like, what? I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand.
One of the best units for it.
Yeah, and earlier, I don't know when you checked out. I was just
no, I don't remember either.
Well, I was like, Eamon, you had holes in your roster, and
I was there for that.
Yeah, I was like, you should be sympathetic, and he's like, well, I did these fights without it. I was like, because you had a green Zidane. Like, you have the 2-week synergy, and like, what happens when you don't have the 2-week green?
Yeah.
Or if the 2-week green isn't enough to carry.
I'm reminded of the Reddit post of someone legit re-rolling their account just out of sheer FOMO for Loof Plus, and then revealed they have Porum and Setzer. GRW, there's a small-time content creator I know that re-rolls every time they're out of gems, and they re-rolled for Loof Plus as well.
Yeah.
Because and like I don't understand it. It's because they don't want to budget the gems. They want to pull everything. So every time they're out of gems, just reset the re-roll and pull. And I'm sure they're not the only one. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the community that do that as well.
I mean, which is because you lose the temporary rewards and you lose the depth in your roster, depending on how, like, you really would have had to made some really bad decisions to justify a reroll. Like that may be the case. Like there may be, if you walk me through like what you've done, you may have made enough bad decisions that a reroll is justified. But it has to be I mean, because
P90 where stuff just comes
exactly
back.
Everything comes back. So like nothing you have is going to be bad.
If you're still re-rolling in 2021, I don't know how to help you.
But I mean, that's the nice thing. Like, okay, you're going into Lufania Plus with nothing. You have no resources. Well, guess what? You're going to get resources. So, so don't pull for a while. Build up your resources. Or just shotgun pull, and that's what you've been doing, and you get what you get, and you don't cry a fit, right? I mean, that's good advice to your kids. And you just move from there. But I certainly wouldn't want to play that way. A lot of people do. Oh, what's that crazy thing?
Well, back to what I was saying. I was saying you shouldn't approach life with such a rigid attitude, but you both told me apparently there's a lot of people that do this. I'll take the L on that. But
wait, what? I don't. That's not disagreeing with you, is it? It's just
no. Yeah, right. Like I said, how do people get through life like this? And you guys like people do it all the time. I was like, shit.
No, yeah, right. I mean, ideally, ideally, like whether you're going to go down my route and spiritual well-being, or you're just going to look at the psychology of it and actual studies where science has shown, yes, flexibility, adaptability, these are traits of humanity that help us thrive in life. And yet, so many of us are not flexible and not able to adapt to even the simplest change in our routines. Now, some people can't help it. You know, there are some neurodivergent folks that any change in routine is going to create a huge amount of anxiety and you know, people with, you know, but there are certain people that shouldn't be playing a gotcha game in the first place. Like, I don't know, a gambling addict. There are people that shouldn't be playing this game, right? But yeah, there are people that just basically choose to completely be inflexible, completely to be unable to be adapted. But I think one of the things you said, which is really good, is about that persistence. And there are people in our community, in the DeFo community, who just choose not to invest the time and then complain about it. Like if you choose not to invest the time and take the loss, fine. But if you choose not to invest the time and complain about it and want everybody to do it for you, then right, like subscribe to my girlfriend subscription, and for $200 a month, I'll just make all your choices for you. That would be great. So, you know, just Venmo me that, and I'll tell you what to pull and how to pull and who to bring and walk you through. I'll tell you which buttons to press, right? That's $1,000 a month. If I have to tell you like which buttons to press for every fight, yeah, that's going to take some more time.
Something like that on my channel memberships. I'm like, wait.
That sounds like a lot of work, man.
That's why I didn't do it. So I'm like, wait a second. I'm undercharging.
Yeah, no, that's a full-time job.
Absolutely not. Because I was setting to like $100 a month at first. I'm like, wait, no, that's fucking cheap. No. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I was not kidding when I said I was about to charge people an arm and a leg for something else. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work for me. Ugh.
Well, ideally, I feel like you should go through life with flexibility. I don't understand when flexibility is ever a bad thing. You have all these famous people saying be flexible. There's all these idioms that I forget all of them other than Bruce Lee's be like water.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think it's healthier both mentally and like better. It's just more efficient to come across a problem, analyze the best way through it, and then change. What does BC always say? The best adapt.
Good players adapt.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
well, that's just not how life works. Like, I am a person who thrives in. I'm a person that thrives in order and schedule and routine and monotony. Like, I mean, just like, man, if I could work a 9 to 5 job where it was the same thing every day, my wife gives me a hard time because I could literally eat the same thing every day. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like, I just have no, like,
taste buds.
no, I do have taste buds, but it just doesn't bother me. Consistency is good for me and scheduling is good for me. And I have one of the most chaotic professions and a very chaotic family. And so shit's up in the air all the time. And I deal with people where, tomorrow morning, I got a funeral tomorrow morning. Again, it wasn't planned. And so when a funeral pops up, there's 12 to 15 to 20 hours of your week you got to find that's just gone. Like, I have plenty of work to do without something like this popping up, but I got to figure out a way to fit this in my week with all the other stuff that has to get done. There ain't nobody else doing it for me. And the person the funeral I'm doing to is 58 years old and got brain cancer 6 months ago and died. Like, nobody expected that, but that happened because that's how life works. Things happen that aren't always good and aren't always expected, and you can roll with it, or that can end you. Like, I mean, his poor wife's got to figure out how to move on from this, or it's not going to be good. And I've seen it go both ways, right? Especially when you're young, because she's much younger than he is. So yeah. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster in DeFo and in real life. So.
This is mainly real life. I don't understand why.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't be. Yeah.
Do you just not do anything you're bad at?
That's the confusing part.
Yeah. Do you just how do you not take promotions at work because you're gonna be bad at it?
I know people. I know people like that. I know people that have been in dead end jobs. People who have. Like, no, I hate my job, but I'm never going to go and interview for something else. I'm not going to risk any,
or like I hate my girlfriend, or I don't want to start dating or something. And it's well, and the funny side joke about dating, the worst thing someone it is not true that the worst thing someone can say to you is no. The worst thing someone can say to you is ew. Y'all ever gotten ewed before? That's rough. I've gotten a new before.
Probably behind my back. I know that's to my face.
Oh no, it was to my face. Ooh. Oh,
ouch.
Oh.
Did you punch her?
Yikes! I wouldn't admit to that on Discord.
Were you? Was that when you were the fat kid that you overcame your past? That was before that.
I wasn't fat before.
Real life Prompto right here.
Just like Prompto.
So my clothes weren't straight, and I wanted to boost my confidence by walking up to random girls in the cafeteria, trying to start conversations. And nobody can tell me anything now, but that was a rough adventure.
Yeah.
Very worth it, though.
But you learned. How much did you learn by taking those risks?
I learned. Yeah. Like, I would just talk. Like, people, when I tell people I'm an introvert, they don't believe me. Because I really like to just, like, Mino knows when I just shut myself out, and I don't feel like talking to anybody. Like, he'll like hit me up or something. Like, nope, busy, not doing it. I need my time to myself. But I also know I learned how to project myself, and I wasn't always like that. And I would literally just talk to people in elevators, like at work, internships, in college, and I just talk to people until I realized I just don't really care anymore. You just build up that resistance, and you just get over it. And then you think back. One of the bigger things is you think about how much your failures had on you mentally. In the long run, like, all right, yeah, I messed up for a while in the past, but does it really bother me now? Not really. So I just go in. It's like jumping into a cold pool. Like it's gonna be cold at first, but you just like forget it like 5 minutes later.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Magnolia, you're welcome.
Well, and I don't know. I mean, because you don't track these people down, and why is it different in DeFo? Why, like, if you don't have time to play the game and you're not interested in spending time to learn the game, why do you care if you beat the hardest content? Like, I play other games casually and just don't care. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying about Genshin the other day. Like my friends are like, they got a new character, and they're like, "Why didn't you grind up the materials to level them up like right now before I?" And I'm like, "'Cause I didn't fucking feel like it.
Yeah.
I can't get to floor 12. You know what? So the fuck what? I don't care."
To represent the other side, because I know Macnell and Ink always say this, and Macnell's in chat, they feel like without the highest difficulty, there's nothing else to do in this game. That's something I know Macnell champions a lot. I disagree with it. I think it's that meme I put up where you're really just in between difficulty levels. Your skill level
Or
is
I think aspiring to be at that difficulty is a fine middle ground.
yeah.
Like working on it.
But
like my friend he's not quite Lufenia Plus ready, but he's okay working towards it.
Yeah.
That being in a state of being able to do it is approaching end game. Just because you're completing lower stuff doesn't mean you can't be working on trying to get to the top.
But I think a lot of the people we see are not people like your friend who are new to the game and kind of working towards that. They're people that have been playing for a long time and just don't seem to get it. And so either they're not getting something or, they're just not putting the time in to actually learn. You know, they want to tell me, maybe they coasted through with friend Aranea, and coasted through with Terra Yang, and are coasted through with Core, and maybe they'll coast through with, Aphmau Reigns, but as soon as something throws a cog in that machine, they don't know what to do. Like they've never had to think through the fight.
It's also going to be my friend who's enjoying the fuck out of Reigns Mao right now.
I'll take another approach to this. A conspiracy theory that this is the DFFOO plan. That's why there's the alternating garbage time and high difficulty to get them addicted to winning at the highest difficulty. You go double Aranea, you go Core, and then you get these people used to doing Lufania, and then when it spikes up, they're like, "Wait, why can't I am a Lufania capable player. Why am I suddenly not doing it?" Give them a little FOMO, be like, they're so used to it. You play on that cognitive dissonance, be like, no, I am a Lufania level player. I should be able to do all Lufanias, and you get them pulling, or get them freaking out on the FOMO.
There certainly might be truth to that, yeah. I mean, that must have reared its head, at least in some situations, whether it was intentional or not. Man,
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, if it's working, it's working. Feels like they're always in a state of testing things. I hope something's working. I mean, clearly these fucking LD tokens are working. I keep seeing every day. Every single day, someone goes,
I can't handle it.
I bought LD tokens and I don't know what to do with them. And I'm just...
I can't handle it. I just don't get it.
It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts.
I got plenty of money for the first time in a while. I have money to spend on things without really thinking about it. But man, I would not drop $80 without with some intention. Like, what am I doing with this? But obviously, there's that, I don't know, fear of missing out or something. Final Asim has a question with his Chocobo points. This question is for me, and it is the answer once and for all. Was the Sphere channel a joke or a serious thing?
Dude, I said it twice already.
Yeah, no, the Sphere channel was a joke to put up another joke, and now it is a joke as well. Continues to be a joke. Like I'm happy, and I included that in my video. I'm happy to help people. I'm happy to help people if they have questions about spheres or anything else.
Are you going to tell us what the best spheres for Sid Reigns are?
Yeah,
it's Reigns.
This video is including
Sid Reigns, Keese, Kais, Fujin. Paladin Cecil. No, but I may have went a little too far because as we talked about tonight, so Final Asim, you'll have to listen back to the show. It isn't really that spheres don't matter. It's more because, yeah, if you don't do spheres and if you don't do artifacts and if you don't do summon bar passives, it all starts adding up, right? So it's not necessarily that that stuff doesn't matter, but spending time and energy in trying to min-max it is a theory crafting exercise that you're welcome to do. It's not going to produce a lot of results. And what it ends up doing, it freaks out people who don't like, yeah, if you want to spend your time theory crafting and getting down and putting it all on paper and not doing anything with it, that's fine. If that's something you enjoy, right? That's fine. But there's a lot of people who see that and then think, oh shit, I really need to think about how I'm using my spheres. And no, you don't.
Or
you just
the reason I can't win.
Or yeah, that's the more insidious thing. Or I'm not winning because my spheres are not as good, right? So, and that's not true.
Yeah.
Also, people always min-max. Yeah, I mean, like, I know some people say they min-max for fun. And that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm in a good mood.
You filthy min-maxer. No, because it's because you're one of them.
No,
I'm playing devil's advocate tonight. And
it's a devil's advocate. He doesn't mean it.
I'm not
still awake. Did he hear what I was saying about him earlier?
I'm not a MMO player, but I am a tabletop RPG player, and throughout my time playing different role-playing games, the min-maxers were always the worst person to be, because
also the worst people to play with.
Yeah, exactly.
They waste everybody's time.
Right. Rules lawyers and min-maxers. We're just playing a game. We're just having fun, role-playing, doing stupid shit, just having fun. And yeah, the min-maxers destroyed, because,
they spend a million hours on their character sheet and they die anyways.
Well, we had some of those people. Those are the theory craft min-maxers who, it's on paper. But we had people who...
Theory crafters. That's theory crafters.
That's theory craft. We had min-maxers. This is what the min-maxers did. So we had, I ran a D&D game once with some of our core group from my class in college, and then some of the younger kids, some of the freshmen, and sophomores too. So they with very little role playing experience. And so we had people playing and I think this was an epic game. So that was the first thing you shouldn't have done. So you had a 20th level barbarian, and this is back in maybe 3rd edition. So, or maybe in 3.5. So like a 20th level barbarian, and then, somebody who's like ranger, archer, magic archer, 17 prestige classes. But not, they weren't just a 20th level ranger. They had 17 prestige classes, and, and so you have that group of people, and they can't play well together. The system's not designed for one person to be super powerful and then one person to be, then that, it just makes a bad kind of dichotomy there. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely the theory crafting is one thing, yeah, where you spend all your time. I played with people like that. Spend all your time, hours and hours on one character, and then you get your head cut off.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Kimari's probably pretty good for this fight.
Yeah, you can dodge all their stuff.
Yeah, I think and they
have a really that dangerous attack they do. You can dodge it.
I really
and it ignores HP damage reduction, so you're encouraged to dodge it.
Shit! I accidentally hit the wrong burst. I was gonna say, I wanted to say, I forgot to say on the podcast, I really like this era. I feel like all these characters are actually pretty useful. Even Aranea, I feel like coming back with the Vital Crusher.
Yeah, she'll still be good for range orders.
Yeah, she's like all of these characters.
You could beef her up with BT effects at least.
Yeah, all of these characters feel viable this month, and I want to say that's because of the difficulty jump as well.
Guy stinks. He's guy's done
this month.
Oof.
Was he?
Bro.
Shit.
Guy lost chapter.
Dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, God damn it! I hit the wrong BT. Fucking. Can they both not be green buttons? I hate this. Game.
Slow down and read.
Stacking BT pluses is fun.
Oh yeah, you do a lot of damage. It is the ultimate path to laziness.
No, for sure.
Oh man, when you get 3, you're just like, fuck.
I know, man. I
let me
mean, you have
just
3
delete.
right now. You got your own, and then a friend, and then another
Yeah,
BT. Like,
yeah, yeah. Can get pretty nasty. I like the thing with any RNA Lost Chapter is the beat 'em up stage, the test dummy stage for Lufenia Plus, because Guy LC has the Imperial immunity, but yeah, RNA is going to be the let me test my damage stage for a bit. Yeah, because we don't have any Lost Chapters next month.
are we getting Garnet next month?
Intertwine Will and
Intertwine.
Yeah, there are no Lost Chapters next
First
month.
Intertwine Will, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun fight. That's more threshold based stuff. Not that bad. If you have Beatrix in that fight, oh, good stuff. I think the orb is like +1 on Thunder and +1 on Water. So obviously Garnet handles it, but Beatrix has the counter with that does Thunder. So she kind of trivializes it.
Yeah, Beatrix, Agrius, like this is like a perfect time. The fights are challenging and varied. You have to respect the mechanics.
Yeah.
All 90% of the characters coming out are actually usable in the month.
Yeah.
Like this is you can, and BT Plus lets you get away with more bullshit.
Yes.
It really does.
It does. It does let you know the bullshit.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
We have a boss rush next month too.
Is that the one we can Yuffie? So X-Raw's 7th, that was actually a temporary bug that happened after the fact.
Yeah, so don't count it on it in GL.
Yeah, that was not a thing you could do on release, and it was explicitly bugged, and it does not work anymore.
Interesting.
Do not count on that.
So the big Doom fights coming up are the Kate Sith fight and the Divine Shiva fight.
The Vane's fight.
Oh, Vane fight.
I am not convinced Vane's fight is got tight turns, and I think people that say Vane isn't good there are blowing things out of proportion. I think Vane is fine there. It's kind of like how in Lightning and Reno's Lufenia, because if you went too crazy with her, you get HP poison down and you wouldn't do much damage. It's a similar thing where you can't go nuts with Vane like you normally do, but just break him out of order. Oh, but I do think that while he's not I don't think he's bad there, but I also don't think he's the best, because I keep saying just off turn it. let them act. Break them in the off turn and you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
So
basically, I predict a lot of complaints. People just do not like fights they cannot no turn at all.
Yep. And then there's the Kate fight. Agrius Havers will love that fight, because that fight is pretty bullshit, because it's the Ico ghosts.
Oh. Yeah.
And you know how you can't hit the one in the middle?
Right.
So but the one in the middle has the orb though.
So,
does it still tick though? I think the orb still ticks for sap.
Yeah, so it's a sap orb, so which Kate does not do, Gabranth does. So that was really the giant question mark there. Why how are they selling Kate Sith to LD with the sap orb? So right off the bat, so you can get around the sap because it's invincible, inhittable. I don't know what the fuck. So the idea there was to use debuff start calls like Gabranth and Ferris, because they
they apply it.
They'd apply, yeah, and it would go through the evasion. And so while you're trying to DPS down the ads, you'd be able to it'd get a turn eventually, and you take it down. And I think it was like +2 on a break or something. And then at HP thresholds, once you broke them all down, it would warp back. It would summon the ads. You have to go through all that over again. And if you went that method, it was very tight on the orb, because if you couldn't kill it fast enough and the orb is going down very slowly, and it's really hard to manage the turns. That was the tricky part of it. But what Agrius does is if the boss is stunned and it tries to warp, on its warped turn, it'll just be paralyzed and it won't resummon the ads.
Nice.
So that's a huge chunk of damage you just don't have to do. A similar thing for a Shulk's fight, where the main helicopter becomes unhittable. What's the fucking word? He just has evasion. God damn it! While the ad is up.
Wait, is that
And
100%?
yes.
Yeah.
But so guaranteed hit does go through it, so like Saz or whoever else does it, Maria, I guess, but that's not viable. But
Shit.
the way at and the orb for that fight is double skill recover.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that we have guaranteed hit as a player.
Yeah, we do. We just barely use it.
Mm-hmm.
So Prompto double skill recovers? And it's
Prompto is Agrius, Dark Knight Cecil, Vayne.
Yep.
That's the only fight I would use Vayne LD in personally, like LD only, but you.
I like these creative
It's
fights are creative.
Tola, and then Shulk, obviously, because she recovers her entire skills. I guess
Yep.
King does it technically. I think King might have guaranteed, but ignore the guaranteed it. But the way that Agrius cheeses that is specifically when the boss is confused. It because it goes undodgeable when the ad is out. When it's confused, it is unable to go into the evasion state. So it'll resummon the added HP thresholds, but if you just confuse it, and the paralyzed does not work here, it specifically has to be a confused. So while if you don't have Agrius on the Kate fight, you can paralyze it with like Shantoto, get lucky with Waka or Porum or some other stuns from like Ramu Summon or something. You explicitly have to confuse it on the Shulk fight, or else because then if it gets a turn while the ad is up and it does like a super AoE nuke that I think ignores reductions. So it's just that you need to squeeze in a lot of damage in a short amount of time. That was the real tricky parts.
I got to pull for Shulk for my love of Dirge Cerberus.
Yeah, and while Agrius, I think I said at the time, Agrius is a good unit overall, and she is godly for these fights. I am predicting a lot of the usual. Why did you skip Agrius, knowing these fights were coming, etc.
Oh, jeez.
Fights are kind of shit without her, and thumbs up to all the people who are going to do non-Agrius ones because I won't be.
Right.
No, thank you.
Is she the only one with a guaranteed paralyzed that?
You mean guaranteed
confused?
Yeah, but I mean, like a non-paralyzed paralyzed.
Porum is a confused. Waka is a confused. Shout out the blind eye. Just good players get the confused.
No, but those are not 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, Porum's
No,
a
they're not,
chance,
yeah.
and then Waka's you press the button and it does, but it might not be confused, right?
So outdated.
Yeah.
God, I felt so hard for her rework. It wasn't good enough. It didn't keep her competitive at all.
But and the other thing is that Agrius also has the double skill. So not only does she cheese the fight, she's just good for the orb, period.
Yeah.
Agrius recovers both of her skills?
On her LD, yeah.
Oh, on her LD. Okay, yeah, right.
And then and Yuri, if you want to use Yuri, I guess, double skill recover. But then the issue then becomes, can you recover your skills at a fast enough interval while dealing with the ad when it spawns and having to deal with the boss?
Yeah, EX.
It's a lot of moving parts.
You said?
You said she's a double skill recover on her EX.
Yeah.
So you hear it.
You got to press her skills.
You heard it here. Get that LD pack and buy Agrius.
You know, that's what we should be telling people.
I have been telling people that.
I mean, like, just wait till you hit a wall, right?
Yeah.
And then get a crucial.
Exactly.
Like, Kurosame is an easy one, and then Agrius is probably going to be a super valuable one, and then
yeah, if you did buy it and you don't know, then yeah, sit on it. They don't expire, and pick up who you need to. There are some people who have bought it who are missing like 5, like what?
Whatever, man.
Like, come on, just
do what you gotta do.
Like, just pick one. Who cares?
Just pick.
Oh, Asim says Vayne's issue is that he doesn't consume. I didn't think about this. He does. That's right. On his rework, he doesn't consume skills in the plus version. But here's the other trick. The thing about the Shulk Orb, they actually need to get the skills back. Like it's not like the action of this would recover skills if I had some left. No, you need to go +1 on both of them. So I'm probably going to challenge myself to do with that Agrius offline, but for YouTube, Agrius all the way, baby. Agrius is Tola. I think I pointed out in the ranting hour last night that I pull. I like to pull for fights that I know that people enable a lot of those fights to be easier. And there's Tola. I had Bane's fight in mind specifically.
Macnell's calling me out. I didn't catch who Mino said was overrated. I remember specifically covering my ass for that one. I guarantee you, if you go back to the Agrius episode, I specifically said I don't feel like I need her right now, but I'm pretty sure that might change going
It's a fair
forward.
take.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said that about Porum too, and
yeah, not
I felt
easy to see her value on
yeah,
release.
exactly. 100%.
Although I don't remember Mino's words either, and I assume Macnol remembers the real.
No, those are the real words. Why are you gonna know?
Yeah, right. Not like it's recorded and uploaded anywhere.
Oh, I know when to cover my
Yeah.
ass. I know certain characters are definitely better later. Who are we? We were just talking about someone very recent who was like that. It might have been. No, I don't think it was Ace. Ace's value comes later, not now.
Well, I know. I think he's good now. I think he's even better later.
It's called investment. You don't see the value right away.
Does a lot of damage right now.
Well, I mean, the thing with investments also are that you're not guaranteed to get a return on them either. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of people who pulled certain characters and then never touched them.
Holy Macnol said Macnol caught you lacking. He said you wasn't even talking about you. You just got paranoid. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, the timing.
Uh-oh.
The timing seemed to line up with Agrius.
That's called getting exposed. That's 4K.
And I
right
do
there.
remember saying that I wasn't too hot on Agrius for sure.
Damn, he got you on 4K. That's crazy. Damn.
So it's okay, Lord Touch Me said, I specifically remember on the show that you talked about Agrius recovering skills. So I don't remember that. I may have said it. That was a long time ago. I don't remember all these characters. I use them once and then put them on the bench.
Yeah, it's real.
Keep all these kits straight.
The bench is nobody's safe from the bench.
There's a lot of people characters on the bench.
Gems. Just pull all the good characters now.
Good players get the characters.
Save during garbage time.
Yeah, I was looking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was looking when I was working on tier 5, and I'm like, I can't believe, like, here's all these characters I haven't used. I mean, there's only been 5 tiers, but still, like, you know, haven't used Tara Young. Like, it's just like, oh, what? Why am I? What am I saving any of these characters for?
You're waiting for their.
Well, now I'm waiting for their BT plus, I guess. Yeah. C9.
Apparently, Tara is pretty good for the T9.
Tara?
Because she hits the 4 debuffs a turn and is instant.
Oh.
So she could tick up the orb like crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Probably.
That's why I saved her, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Just hoard all the BTs. What are people doing for the RNA thread?
Oh, is there any interesting runs on RNA yet?
Well, Scott already reigns mounted.
I was gonna say Scott did 45 runs yet.
20 turns, reigns mount.
Oh wow. Yep, that is Bart's half-mile reigns, 20 turns.
Yeah. I ran this with a really like not a no-turn team, but it was pretty easy to deny them turns after the initial, like, under 79%, and then just keep breaking them. Yeah.
Crush, Crush did Kamari, Setzer, Yishtola. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have a lot of firepower to it, but got the job done.
How do you do damage there?
You
just rely on Ish?
No, he brought a an ace friend, but I mean they're hitting. I mean they're all hitting their caps with Setzer, I guess. So I guess it adds up after a while. Oh God, Eamon ran. Is Eamon still on? Eamon ran Rosa, Zidane, and Core like he said he would. Somebody must have told him. We shouldn't have talked about it. Give him the hints. Give him the hints.
He would have asked.
I was hoping no one was going to give him the hints. Like that episode of The Office where Andy's, give me a break of that, and nobody tell him. Nobody tell him. Come on. Ooh, Lis Lizette, Kais Lael Porum.
He's working. I mean, Kaisa's got the crit rate.
What?
I believe it.
Yeah,
God, I hate
that's ridiculous.
Kaisa's got the.
He's got it.
Got the 100% crit rate.
Yeah, Kaisa's range too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, all range. Yeah, it's nice. That's nice. Wow, that's some old shit characters getting through this.
Side Great Cloud.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Leviax with the full Final Fantasy IX Don Beatrix Phoebe run.
Jesus.
People are getting creative here.
Let's see this one.
I did say this was the easiest stage this month.
No, you didn't.
I definitely
He
said
did.
that earlier.
He did say that. Yeah, multiple times, I believe. He said that in his videos.
Yeah.
He said that when he got on here tonight. He said that in chat.
I've been saying that.
I didn't see any Barrett clears yet.
There
was a hot take
take.
that
Oh,
Vincent's mandatory for tier 9. Well, yeah, everyone says that off the bat. Just almost always an idiot.
Well, because
That's just people reacting.
the people who beat it first are the people that got the characters that were designed for it. Yes.
Somebody said, was it on Ranting Hour? Where somebody said, oh yeah, it was Xeno server again. BC went in to argue. I remember this. He was arguing with Myth, who said that Reigns got shut down, and then BC chased him into that server, and and then I think it was like Seth and Myth were, hold on, yeah, Seth and Myth were saying, BC was saying, how does this get shut down? And then Seth was like, oh well, shut down means not the path of least resistance, like no average
Words mean things.
Yeah.
no average player would
It's not.
want to run Reigns in fights that resist launch, because otherwise why not just pick something that isn't launched, that something that doesn't get resisted. So in this case, like, they bring up the Vincent thing, which is hilariously ironic because I think they're laughing at them for the same thing. Say this guy on another server saying, oh, Vincent's needed for this tier, and then Rob on that server posted like, oh look, here are some clears without Vincent, and then the guy's like, it's still a mandatory pull because most people aren't going to be able to do that. Most people are going to need Vincent to clear it, or something like that.
It's been literally like 24 hours, right? I mean, it
Just never learned.
yeah, it just came out. Like, give it, like, especially in Japan, like, give it a few days.
Just wait.
Like,
Just wait, bro.
seriously.
It's people are just afraid,
Yeah, they are just afraid.
and then they're just voicing that fear because they're afraid of something hard, and then they're like, oh my god, guys, they're gonna make us do this, and then it's just running away with the fear. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, just knee-jerk reactions. But
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing like if you're approaching something new and you're like, there's some fear with, I don't know if this is going to work, then you do it and you fail. But like if you're a GL player worrying about tier 9, like the day it came out, come on, like you're just
okay, yeah,
you're hurting yourself. Like that's the kind of fear you don't need in your life. Fear is like there's a fucking bear. It might kill me. I need to figure out how to get out of this situation so the bear doesn't eat me. That's good fear. Like worrying about something that's going to happen in a game that you play 9 months from now that likely won't be an issue because we'll have 9 months of foresight. That's dumb. That's dumb fear.
It's always the same people.
Yeah.
It's always the same people.
I don't know if it's like a millennial thing.
Well,
but
yeah,
I
you're all balls of anxiety. Millennials and
Yeah, exactly.
Zoomers
I
are
know-
even worse. So
Yeah, I know. I see millions of like articles growing up saying, "Oh, the quote unquote self-diagnosed anxiety is at an all-time high with millennials," and then like you're saying,
it
Zoomers are
is.
even worse.
No, it is.
Like,
Yeah,
because
it's
because
real.
of the
Yeah.
internet? Is it because of the internet and everyone's scaring each other and shit? So like I always think like apparently it's a rarity for me to not worry about bullshit that's beyond my control. Yet
That
tons
is
of
a learned behavior.
tons of people love to panic about every little thing. And I've met and gone on dates with some of these people, just insufferable. These people who are always constantly worrying what can go wrong. And it's just like, how do you live like this? This is fucking miserable.
No, because it is miserable. You're right.
Yeah, we're X-Roz. We're technically millennials. Well, Mino and I are.
Yeah.
BC isn't, but yeah, technically I'm a millennial. I'm technically on the bridge between them, but Mino's definitely millennial.
Too many people my age.
But I know plenty of people older. I mean, I know plenty of boomers who are just plenty of Xers and plenty of boomers, and even people who are older. Tons and tons of. I'm on the threshold, depending on what stupid study that you listen to this pretend thing that doesn't exist or matter. Generational studies is not a real thing. So depending on where you put me, I'm either a millennial or a Gen Xer. I consider myself Gen X, but because I hang out with Gen Xers, I'm married to a Gen Xer. So, but I could be considered a millennial. Just writing them in. Doesn't matter. It's pretend. It doesn't impact anybody's life. The point I was trying to make, I've known people from teenagers to 100 years old that deal with that kind of anxiety. It does seem to be getting worse in our world overall. Like more and more people are anxious, and I don't think it's just younger generations. I think it's the
internet, right?
Yeah,
like everyone's doom posting each other.
Well, yeah, and even people without the internet. I mean, like good chunk of boomers don't have the internet, and they're all. I was sitting. My wife and I went out to a restaurant. Nice winery today for lunch. It's my day off, and we didn't have the kids, so we went out to this winery, and there were three older. They were older than us. Three older mothers, or around our age, so they were in their 40s. Got away from their kids, and they probably had teenagers, so their kids were a little older than our kids, but. Got away from their kids and their husbands and were out drinking wine at 11 o'clock on a Thursday and getting trashed. And they were loud, and so I could hear everything that they were talking about. And it was just like the dark web conspiracy theory shit. That's like what you're not even listening to this on whatever dumb news radio you're listening to. I mean, this was like Looney Tunes conspiracy stuff that these ladies were all these three Karens were talking about. And wow, so it's out there. I mean, and maybe it is the internet, maybe it's just 24-hour news cycle. Yeah,
Wow, I am melting this fight. Ace does a lot of damage. Jesus Christ.
Ace does a lot of damage. I still can't play optimally. Now that I know how, but
Tragic.
I mean, if I had I think Zidane or Zell could milk it really well.
Probably.
Stack those defense downs on Zell. I'm a big fan of Zell. I'm kind of sad I didn't get him.
Oh,
I didn't get him. I mean, I didn't pull it all.
You didn't have Zell? That's sad.
LD?
Yeah.
Mark.
You don't have every weapon in the game?
Where are your Zell clears, Mark?
Well, I have Zell. I did Zell videos, Zell clears.
Oh, you did? Fuck.
Yeah. I have Zell. I like Zell. I like Final Fantasy VIII.
Yep, T-Discord does this one too.
Oh, T-Discord, yeah.
Yeah. I love reposting that core is like a worst whatever every month. It really aged horribly.
That should have been your perfect proof for why Ace would be underappreciated. Nobody understands off-turn damage.
Nope.
Nobody understood core's damage because it wasn't on turn. They're like, I don't understand the hype.
Yeah.
Some doing 10k on his turns or something.
Yeah. Some girl did Tidus core Aranea and then immediately swapped out Aranea for Bart's BT plus, and Aranea never came back. So just got the crit damage up, and that was it. So yeah.
Well, I'm about to finish in 16 turns. All right, this about to be easy recording tomorrow. Okay.
Off turn will off turn crits help with the orb? Yeah, it will.
Yep.
Man, Barrett did nothing here. Prompto and Ace could probably deal with this. Barrett provided blue armor. That's what he did.
All right, guys. I got to jump.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
Show.
I'm
I
depressed.
will catch you all later.
Hey, yep. Thanks everybody online. Thanks BC for hanging out with us. Good luck. We'll see y'all in Discord. Till next time.